Hey folks, welcome back to Wingman Nation. I am the RV Wingman. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you're having a great week. Now, I'm going to follow up on yesterday's video. First off, I want to do a shout out to my friends at Cheyenne Camping Center up in Iowa. These people are awesome. Yes, they are one of America's most trusted RV dealers. They have one location. People go see them from all over the country because they are a family owned dealership that truly cares about their customer. And I don't know of anyone that offers lower prices on great travel trailers, towables now. They don't have any motorhomes, towables than they do. Cheyenne Camping Center, link to them is in the description down below. Yesterday, I talked a little about I told you about growing up and me having to earn things. I did not get an allowance. My dad was kind of a hard ass, and I'm glad now that I'm an old man that he was, because he taught me a whole lot of things by me having to work like that. But there is a difference between a wingman and an enabler. I love being a wingman, but I hate being an enabler. And let me tell you, give you an example. When I owned, I am retired now. I was self-employed my whole life. I built businesses, and some of them did really well, and most of them didn't. But two of the businesses that I built that I was so proud of enabled me to work with hundreds, maybe thousands of people, and I learned so much about people. When I had a hunting ranch, the new hunters would come in, and we had a big long table that would seat about 12 people, 12 guests. I'd sit at the end of the table, this big, long, beautiful table. These people would come in from all over the country, and they were excited. They're paying money to come on a hunting trip. And I was down at the end, kind of like a judge holding court, and I'd tell some stories to kind of get the conversation going. But I would listen to these people. I would learn about where they came from, and I think like an airplane pilot. If a pilot watches people come on board, they go, that's a seasoned traveler. That guy looks a little drunk to me. You can't help but profile people. I mean, not if you have a brain. You got to profile people. And so I'm sitting back at the table, and I'm watching guests and learning from those guests. I'm learning who is going to need a lot of help and who doesn't need any help, and who needs a lot of help but doesn't think they need any help. And you learn a lot about people. You learn people that you can trust, people that you got to keep an eye on. It was the same thing when I owned my campground. Many people, I said yesterday, that I had to earn my money. When my dad died, I got nothing. My dad was a successful engineer, aeronautical engineer, and I got nothing. And I am perfectly fine with that. I had to ask my stepmother for a little box called the grub box that I helped my daddy build when I was a little boy. And I'm so glad I got nothing. Part of me said, well, don't you wish you would have? Well, part of me, but not really. Because then I wouldn't be who I am today. So yesterday I said about earning what you get and allowances. I think some people came to my hunting ranch and they felt like because they paid money that this big deer should show up automatically and they should be able to shoot it and say, look at me, I'm Daniel Boone, life is great, see you later. And sometimes that happened for people. A deer would show up, and sometimes, but it was hunting. Hunting was not about the killing. For people who have never hunted, they go, yes, it is. Well, that's part of it. But part of our stories come from the struggle of trying to get that elusive thing that's a trophy for us. And a trophy for me is not necessarily a trophy for you. The joy in life is through that struggle. And I saw my hunters come in, and they would have these emotional ups and downs as they had their 4-day experience with me. When people came to my campground, I think people pay money and go, I want it to be perfect. The pool better be perfect. The playground needs to be clean. There better be no slob campers, and there better be no big dirty near my site. People better not cut through my site. It ain't perfect. Almost no campground is. But when you look back, if you're a camper, don't you look back, or if you're a hunter, whatever, look back, and aren't some of your greatest stories and fondest memories, maybe life-changing experiences, back at the time you didn't think much of them? It was uncomfortable. You had a flat tire, something that went wrong. You had a struggle with a coworker, but it turned out turned into a really good friend. I think that being a wingman, I love trying to help people. But some people you just can't help. And you got to get back and you got to love them. I told people at my ranch, if you've never been here before, please do not shoot the first deer you see. Please don't do it. You will regret it. And I would try to explain to them why they would regret it. And still some people would come back in and they would shoot the first thing they saw. And guess what? They regretted it. Those same people, why couldn't they listen in the beginning? When you buy an RV and you tell people, if you don't do your homework, if you don't maintain your RV, if you think that everything is going to be perfect, you are going to regret it. If you buy payments that some chain dealer talks you into, you're going to pay for it. You are. You will regret it. I think all of us have things in our lives that we regret. You can't hold everybody's hand. My dad tried to nurture me, I think, as best he could, but he loved me enough to make my own mistakes and then try to figure out how to get out of them. I think sometimes, don't you think that sometimes we help people too much? As I said yesterday, we forgive their college loans. They signed a paper, a promise. I promise. Here's my word, my John Hancock. I promise I will pay this loan back. Unless I don't. Unless the government forgives me. What kind of lesson does that teach people? To be a wingman, I think that it's important to try to find that sweet spot, that balance. That balance of, am I enabling this person and making them less able to handle difficulty the next time one arises in their life? Do I trust them that they will see that plane coming in? They will see the danger that's up ahead. A wingman is there to try to help you, but you got to listen. Who was your wingman growing up? My wingman was my dad. And most of the time as a young man, I didn't listen. I didn't want to listen. Sadly, he was right more often than he was wrong. But who was your wingman or wing woman growing up? And who are you a wingman or wing woman to now in 2024? Or have you just given up and said, man, they're on their own, did the best they could? And at some point, I think we have to say that. I've had to do it with people that I love. Man, I tried. And it's sad. At least it is for me. You know, my mother was she never had a job. She was, a spoiled, rich kid. Her mother died when she was 12. Her father was wealthy. My dad came from a broke family, but really smart, hardworking, depression kid. And it was a weird mix. My parents did not stay together. When I was a young man, they got a divorce, and that kind of rocked my world. But my mother was sweet and kind and generous, but she never had to work. My father was not sweet and kind and generous. He was a hard ass. And somehow in between, I became who I am. A man that's filled with flaws, but a man who loves to try to help others. I want to know, who was your wing man growing up or wing woman growing up? Whether you realized it then or not, you probably didn't. I didn't realize it. So, if you're new to this channel, you're going to find that I talk a lot about RVing, but I talk mainly about life and about us and the struggles that we go through. Who do you listen to now? Who's your wingman now? Not me, maybe a little bit. But who do you listen to? I'd like to know that. Who do you say, now that is somebody that I need to listen to? Maybe not be like, but listen to. They've got valuable things to say. Who's your wingman? Who's your wing woman? Who do you respect now that maybe you didn't respect or you wouldn't have respected when you were a younger, smarter version of you? I think we all thought we were smarter than we were back when we were young. The older we get, hopefully we realize we're not as smart as we think we are. But we do have a little bit of wisdom. All right, That's it for today. Again, I want to do a shout out to my friends at Cheyenne Camping Center. They're a family-owned RV dealership who would like the opportunity to earn your business. The economy sucks right now for millions and millions and millions of people. We are struggling right now. Millions of us are. I don't think there's going to be a fast turnaround after the election. I don't. I think that there is a desire for people to RV. You want to RV. You want to get out and absorb what our country has to offer. You want to take it in, experience different places. And RVing is the perfect vehicle to do it if you can afford it. Now is the right time to do your homework. Find people that will not enable you. Find a dealer who is a wingman, who will instruct you and tell you why, and listen to those people. Cheyenne Camping Center will not try to enable you. They will not say, just sign here in the bottom line, sign a 20-year note, you'll be fine. Oh yeah, your truck can pull that. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Take this downtime as your opportunity to do your homework, to find an RV dealer that you can trust. I know the ones I trust. Find an RV dealer that you can trust. So when you are in a financial position to say, hell yeah, now's the time, I'm going to buy that RV, that you know where you're going to be going, that you have created a friendship, someone that you can trust. How did I get here? I don't know. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. Please, if you would, hit the like button and turn your notifications on. That way you'll get a notification every time I put out a new video. I'm changing my mind all the time, and I appreciate you being with me. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, reminding you, be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.